In this tutorial, I will show you on how to build a simple login or sign up application using Flutter. You can use Android Studio or IntelliJ IDEA to build this project. Without further ado, let's start this project. Go to create new project. I will now show you how to install Flutter SDK. I will include a link to a document that you can refer. Let's name this login app and click finish. Let's go to project path, div folder and main.dart file. Let's clear this out and start from scratch. Let's start by importing the material.dart package, configuring our main method. Void main should pass run app method, and in that method we are forwarding my app widget. Type st and choose stateless widget. We are defining our my app widget. This should of course return a material app widget. Setting our title as login app. I want to define a primary theme, theme data, primary color, colors.blue. This is where we load our first screen. Let's create a new directory, screens, and in that directory we are going to create a new dart file, homescreen.dart. Let's import the same old material.dart package. Our home screen will be a stateless widget. Class home screen should return a scaffold widget. In that scaffold widget, let's have an app bar. App bar title will have a text object. Let's name the title home screen. Our scaffold widget does have a body. I'm not going to add anything fancy here. Center, child, text widget, and in that text widget, let's say this is my home screen. Let's adjust the font size by adding a new text style. Style, text style, and font weight into bold, font size into 20 pixels. Let's load our home screen. First of all, we need to import the homescreen.dart file. Let's run this for a bit and see how it looks. Okay, that's good. Now this is not the way to go here. We don't want to load the homescreen.dart file when the user enters our app. What we want to do is load our sign up or login form. So let's do that. Creating a new screen in our screen folder, login screen.dart. Importing the material.dart package. Creating a new stateful widget now. Class login screen should return a scaffold widget. Set a number, title, text, and let's name this login. Scaffold body. I want to build my screen in a stack widget. Stack widget has children widgets, and these widgets will sit on top of each other on how we define. The first one we define is our container. This will be at the bottom. So the next one widget we define will sit on top of container. So that's how this stack works. Let's make this screen colorful by adding new decoration, box decoration. Gradient, linear gradient take colors. Colors should be an array. First color is colors dot light green accent. Second one is colors.blue. Let's see how this looks. First of all, we need to import this login screen into our main.dart file. And of course, we need to call it here. Okay, looks good, isn't it? Now back to our login screen. After that container widget, let's add our login form. Center widget. We'll have a child widget card. Card shape should be rounded rectangle border. Border radius dot circular. We can give in a width of 10 pixels. Let's give this container a height of 260 pixels and a width of 300 pixels. Also, I want to give this container some padding 8 inch tall and 16 pixels. Okay, let's check our card widget. Okay, looks fine. Now I want to add a form widget here because that is the best way to handle forms in Flutter. Form takes a key attribute. We need to first define that key attribute. Find a global key. Type form state. Form key equals to global key. Okay, let's pass this as our form key. Next thing I want to add is a single child scroll view. Add in a column widget so that we can align our items vertically. Next thing I want to add is text form field. Creating a new text form field. Decoration, input decoration. We can set a label text here. It would be email. We can set a keyboard type here as well. Keyboard type into text input type dot email address. Also, we can pass in a value for a validator. In here, we can add some conditions on how to validate the value of user. We need to pass an anonymous method here. This will receive a value. Value is user's input. If value is empty or value does not contain @ we can return invalid email. Also, you can add a more complex validation using regular expressions. What this will do for us. If you are building a much complex application, you can add a more special validation using regular expressions. Otherwise, we should return null. Text form will have a onSave method, which we can later use to save what user input. Okay, this is our input for email. Let's add a comment here, email. And next in the line is text input for password. Text form field, just like earlier decoration, input decoration. We can set a label text into password. We can add a value to obscure text here. If it is set to true, it will hide the user's value just like a normal text input field for a password do. And we can set a validator in here as well. Validator value, and we can pass in an anonymous function. If value is empty, or length of value is less than or equal to 5, we can return invalid password. Otherwise, this should return null. So this is our password text input. We haven't run this for a while. Let's run this and see how our text inputs work. And you can clearly see the values hidden from the user layout. Now let's add a submit button. We can add a raise button. child text object. Let's call this submit. And of course, if we are defining a button, we need to pass an onPress method. Parameter should be assigned with an anonymous function. Let's run this to see how a button looks. Button is there, but not the way I wanted to look. Maybe if I can add some padding over here, it would be better. For that, I will use a size box. We'll give in a height of 30 pixels. Adjusting the shape of the button. Rounded rectangle border. Just like earlier, border radius. Border radius dot circular into 30 pixels. Let's give this button a color of blue. Colors.blue, and we can adjust the text color into colors.white. Let's run this. Okay, looks much better. Now back into our onPress method, we should do something here. Now I don't want to write all the code in here. Let's define a method for that submit button. Let's define it in our login class. Void submit. Should pass anything for now. And let's call this in our onPress method. The next thing I want to do is create a separate screen for sign up form. Create new file, Signup Screen. Actually, it won't differ much from our login screen. Let's just copy and paste all this in our signup screen. Alright, done. What we need to change is first our app bar title. This should be sign up. Also, the important one is our class. Our class should be changed. We can use rename method. Right click here and go to refactor, rename, and type signup screen and click refactor. Okay, done. What else do we need to change? Okay, let's change these gradient colors just for fun. First color would be lime accent. You can add anything for your preference. The second color would be red accent. Okay, what else do we need to change? Oh, I want to add the container height into 300 pixels. So I can add a confirm password text input field into this. Let's just copy and paste our password text form. We are adding a password confirmation field. So let's paste it here. This label text should be confirm password. In our validator, value is not equal to user's password. So how to get the password value? This way to do that is using a controller in here. So controller, we need to define a new text editing controller in our signup screen state class. Text editing controller. Let's name this password controller. should be equal to new text editing controller. Okay, let's assign this into our controller. This should be password controller.text. All the other things are same as our login screen actually. Let's run this in our main.dart file. First of all, we need to import it. Here this should be Signup Screen. And let's rerun this. Alright, gradient background looks cool. Also our form is ready. The next thing I want to add is add an internet changing routing so that I can go back and forth. We can do that by adding route names separately for each screen. First, let's start with home screen. Static const route name should be equal to \home. Now moving to our login screen, let's give this route name of login. This should be defined in our login screen, not login screen state class. Static const route name should be equal to \login. Okay, moving to a signup screen. Signup screen route name will be \signup. Now in our main.dart file, we can define a new argument, routes. In there, we can have a map of route. First, signup screen.route name. Whenever we use signup screen.route name, it should pass the context and it should lead us to signup screen object. Similarly, whenever we use login screen.route name, we should lead to login screen object. Last one will be our home screen. Moving on to our login screen, I want to add an extra button in this app bar. So let's do that. Actions widget, and I will have a back button. Child row into children widget, and in that I want to add a text widget. Say in sign up because we are in login screen. After that, let's add an icon. Icons.first. This flat button will also have an onPress method. Let's see how this looks. So I need to change the home attribute into login screen, and let's rerun the app. Okay, looks fine, but I want to make some adjustments here. Text color should be white, colors.white. Okay, it would make more sense if this icon was person's head. Let's see how this looks. Now it looks okay. When I click this button, I'm going to go to a sign up screen. So in that onPress method, I want to use navigator of context dot push replacement name and our root name. For that we need to import the signup screen. And we can use signup screen.route name here. Let's see if this works. Okay, now we are in signup screen. Now I want to do the same thing in our signup screen. Let's copy and paste this in our signup web bar. Except now this should be login screen. And icon is icons.person. In here I want to load login screen. First of all I need to import login screen. Let me fix the import here. And rerun the app. Okay, it's working fine. Now that's about it for the layout. Okay, the next thing I want to do is when I enter an email address and a password, and when I press the submit button, these values should be saved in some database. So let's do that.